What is up, guys? I'm back with another video. In this one I'm going to be discussing how much of your gains you can keep after coming off of steroids. And this is going to be based on my own research and my own personal experience. For those who do not know yet, I've been lifting since 2010. I took steroids from 2015 to 2019 and I have been off of steroids for the last 2 years. So with all that being said, how much of your gains can be kept after coming off of steroids? So the biggest factor at play here is where you're at in regards to your natural genetic limit. To give you a better visual representation, here's a few charts that I made in Microsoft Paint. So obviously when you're on steroids, your potential is a lot higher than when you're natural, and you're actually able to exceed your genetic maximum. And obviously if you're natural, you can make gains very easily the newer you are, and the closer you get to that max, you'll make gains slower and slower. And if you're past that max because of steroids and PEDs and you come off, you actually start to regress back towards that max. However, if you hop on steroids very early in the beginner phases and you make it only so far, like right below your genetic max, there's a good chance you can keep most, if not all, of your gains after you come off cycle. And that's only assuming that your diet and your workouts are absolutely on point, because if you're at your max and your workouts suck and your diet sucks, you're going to lose some gains there. The max is also going to vary widely based on every different person. We're all having different maxes. For example, a person who has naturally 300 nanograms per deciliter testosterone levels will have a lower maximum potential for gains than a guy with 1000 nanograms per deciliter testosterone levels. But the odds that you make it to your max with a shitty diet and a shitty workout in the first place is not very high, in my opinion. As far as for my own personal experience, when I was on cycle, I trained mostly for size. I did a ton of volume, and I believe that I was surpassed my natural max. Here's a picture of me towards my peak in 2019. I was 195 pounds here, decently lean, pretty jacked, and I look pretty good, I think. So after I came off cycle, I was still working out, I was still keeping in shape, and then when COVID hit, I totally quit everything. I stopped caring about my diet, I stopped working out totally, I gained a lot of fat, I think I lost a ton of muscle mass, and that cost me. So here's where I'm at today at 190 pounds. Obviously, as you can see, I look a lot smaller, I'm still a little bit fatter. You can see my delt especially have lost some good size. Even my chain is smaller. Overall, I'm a lot smaller. So as you can see, I try to keep these pictures as consistent as possible. As the same bathroom, same lighting, pretty much the same pose as close as possible. Pretty much same everything. I think for me to be at the same body fat percentage as I was in 2019, I still have another 3 or 4 pounds to lose. And that would put me at around 187 pounds. So that being said, overall I've probably lost 8 pounds of muscle mass since I came off cycle. Where I'm at now too, I think I'm somewhere pretty close to my natural limit. I might have like maybe 5 more pounds I could put on, assuming I do everything perfectly, but I don't think that the physique I had before is attainable without any help. I am going to be finding out for sure though. I'm going to still be training naturally for the next 1 to 2 years. I'm going to see how far I can progress, and we'll find out. My testosterone level is pretty low naturally. If you watch my other videos, you know that I've been hovering around 360 nanograms per deciliter testosterone, which is on the very low end of the spectrum. So with that number in mind, I'm actually very pleased with how much mass I've been able to keep. My plan for now is to cut down into maybe 8 to 10% body fat and see what my physique looks like at that low level of body fat. And then I'm going to do a few bulk cycles and see how big I can get back before I stop making any progress. As for strength, since I was training for mostly size, I don't think I was at my max when I was using steroids. My highest bench during my cycling was 335. After I quit lifting, when I started again back in 2020, my bench was down to like 290, and I just now hit 345, which is higher than I ever benched using steroids. So I'm pretty excited to see how far I can push that. I currently have a goal to try to bench 405 naturally before I start using steroids again, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to at some point. Especially since I have low testosterone, I'm going to be on at least TRT. And I'm not sure if that's attainable, but I'm going to do my best to see if I can. So yeah, that about wraps up everything for this video. The amount that you can keep after a cycle depends on where you were when you came off. I have some pretty interesting content coming up. My next video might be about what kind of physique I think is attainable at certain testosterone levels, because it's widely known that lower testosterone equals lower gains, but I still think that even with a low testosterone level, you can still achieve a pretty impressive physique with hard work. I'm also going to be talking about a very popular fitness YouTuber who has a very impressive physique, and he actually posted his bloods one time and it had a fairly low testosterone levels, actually surprisingly low for me. with all my knowledge of hormones. And he has a very impressive physique. I'm not saying he's a natural, I think it's achievable, but we'll dive into it in the next video. If you want to follow me on any other social medias, I'm on TikTok and Instagram at _Mike Gonzalez. I just post memes on TikTok, just some random shit, and I don't really use Instagram that much yet, but I'm going to be soon. So if you guys like this kind of content, remember to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.